welcome to Asian Pulse TV, an informative and resourceful station. I'm your host Manvi Randhawa, and today we are broadcasting from the unceded territories of Silvertooth Nation, Mohawk, Katsi and Kwantlen Nation. We feel very blessed for the generosity of the First Nation people who allow us to share their traditional and ancestral land with them to live, laugh and grow. November 19th is International Men's Day. International Men's Day started in Trinidad and Tobago in 1999. It was created by Dr. Jeremy Tuluk Singh, who celebrated this in commemoration of his father. Fast forward 22 years, and now it is celebrated over 80 countries with the aim of highlighting social issues by men that they face both mentally and physically. That is why November is also called Movember. Movember is an annual event involving the growing of mustaches during the month of November to raise awareness of men's health issues such as prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and other men's disease, including men's suicide. You already know that flu shots are available at your nearest pharmacy, so please get them. But we are also aware, and we are making everyone aware, that COVID is still lingering on. And you must have got an email which says that you need to get your recent COVID shot. So make sure you check that and you get the recent COVID shot that is available at your nearest pharmacy. November 20th is World Television Day. So watch all of our TV programs because we provide those TV programs to educate you. Our channels bring very informative and educational programs to your homes. We focus on what you need to know. We focus on what is happening in your community, and we impart that knowledge to you. So make sure that you take full advantage of this knowledge and power, and the knowledge and the power that this knowledge gives to you, and you can grow yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's time to take a short break, but we will be right back after we hear some words from our sponsors.
Bollywood Banquet Hall and Conference Center, located at Pyle Business Center at 201-8166 128th Street in Surrey. No celebration is too small to accommodate you. They have newly renovated 2 halls to serve you, up to 1,000 guest capacity, top-notch chefs to delight you with delectable and heavenly cuisine. So just call Bollywood Banquet Hall at 604-598-2700 for your events.
Thank you, sponsors. Today in our studio, we have Mr. Tom Datta, who is an award-winning CEO, and he also founded Create, which is ranked in the top 100 education platform globally in 2021. His TEDx talk has lifted many. He explains how leaders can lift the stigma of mental health. Decade of long influence in mental health and deeply rooted in our lived experiences affect successful men. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. My guest today is Tom Datta, and he has been in our set before, but there's so much he has to talk about, and we all have to learn, especially myself, that even if I keep bringing him back every 3 months, 6 months, it's still not going to be enough. So he is the founder and CEO of Create, and it ranked about the top 100 educators globally in 2021. I can't even read. When he's sitting next to me, I can't even read. But anyhow, there's so much about him, what he's done, and what he is up to right now. So I think it would be only fair for me to ask him to introduce himself, what he's up to and what he's done. And this was the last book that he gave it to me, and there is another edition, another book that he published or authored, and there is so much more to talk about. So welcome.
It's nice to be back, Camilla.
And it's so hard to get you because you are so busy, but I'm so glad that we are able to talk today, and you were able to make it.
Yeah, no, I'm honored every time I come and see your show, and to the audience, I'm a big fan of Camilla's show. I watch all the episodes. And we talked about last time that you knew my father, who passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you talk, but I was going to say that when you're around greatness, it's hard to speak. And now I'm getting tongue-tied because I'm around somebody who's got so much wisdom.
Yeah.
You said introduce myself. It's interesting because I did a public talk recently, and I did a TED Talk. And for those who don't know, TED Talks are short talks that are focused on a single idea. My TED Talk in February 2020 was titled How Leaders Can Lift the Stigma of Mental Health. And the guy introducing me had trouble introducing me. And I always like to say that I guess I've been lost throughout my career, but Create is an education company. I founded it after being a paid executive for 25 years. So I built and grew companies, worked as a CEO at the age of 31, Camila. And then I just noticed that I learned a lot. And like my dad, who was a teacher, I wanted to create a company where I could go out and coach people. I could teach them. And also I started a radio show, so I have the Quiet Warrior Show, and I've published some books. And all of this together is just my way of telling stories and just sharing a lot of what I learned in life.
But you have learned so much in such a young age.
I did, and I think today what I wanted to talk to you and the audience about is this thing here between our ears, which is the brain. So can I talk about the 2018,
This is your show.
So this is my show.
Sure, yes. You take it away.
So in 2018, my dad passed away in January 2018, and I took some time off. It was very hard. I was shocked that it was my dad. He was very well known in the Fiji community. My middle name is Ashok, so I'm very proud of that. And I took time off, and in August I was doing a ride to conquer cancer. This was 2 days on my bike. It was 225 kilometers. It was really up and down hills, and there was a lot of sun and a lot of rain. And the first night, Camilla, I slipped in a bathtub. I was taking a shower, I fell backwards, and I broke the fall with my head. And I not only landed on my head, but I split the tub, and the back of my head hit so hard, I blacked out. And so from that point on, my life changed. It was almost life-threatening. So I slipped into serious depression, anxiety, but I couldn't walk straight. If you met me back then, I couldn't walk a straight line. I couldn't stand up without falling over. And if we were doing this, words weren't coming out, so I had latency in the way my brain was thinking. It was slow. And I was scared because all my life I had used my cognitive function as a business leader, as an educator. And, I was just going to say to the audience that, have you ever done anything that you've been in fear and you don't know if you can get through that? And that's what it was like. So I want to talk today about something I thought was funny, but when I hear it back, it's not funny. I saw a neuroplastician, or one of these neuron doctors, brain doctors, and he looked at me and he talked to me, Camilla, for 5 minutes, and he said, Tom, he says, you're not looking after your brain. He says, if you don't, it's going to shrink. And it scared me because nobody had ever said that, and I didn't know what he meant. And they say that the difference between knowledge and wisdom is time. So we're in 2023. I've had 5 years to learn about how to get better. And the one thing I want to really show is this brain. And we talk a lot about mental health. We talk a lot about staying healthy, but we've never talked about it from the point of view of inside the brain. So I just became a board-certified, what's called master neuroplastician. So I specialize in teaching people from the inside of the brain first. So change your brain, you can change your life. Even mental health, if we have depression, if we have anxiety, we have issues, we focus on what's going on in the brain first. So I want to give you some fun facts about the brain. And everybody, take a look at this. What do you notice that's different? Brains are supposed to be gray and white matter. This one is lots of colors.
Different colors, yeah.
My mom always said, when you wash the laundry, don't mix the colors. So I'm thinking maybe somebody washed this brain with all the other brains. So a little bit about the brain. I want to give you some facts. Your brain is about 3 pounds for an adult brain, 2.7 pounds for a female brain. Now, how do we know this? We did the research, postmortem studies verify that. About 65% or 60% of this is fat, healthy fats. The rest of it is carbs, proteins, the neurons, which are brain cells. There's roughly 90 billion brain cells, and then what are called glial cells. So why is it that we look after the heart, we look after our body, but we don't really have a plan to
Look after our
look
brain.
after our
Yeah,
brain?
Yeah.
Now, let me get excited for a minute. Neuroscientists say that the brain is actually a time machine. So we are the only species on this planet that can go back in time. So I can go back in time and tell you the story of what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
We can also go forward in time. What are we going to have for dinner? Or let's
Yes.
go out for a drink after and talk about Fiji.
Yeah.
Or we can stay right here, and everyone, sometimes the best thing is to stay right here in the moment, especially for mental health. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. Other scientists will say that the brain's number one function is to keep you safe. So what the brain does is it looks in the outside world and it looks for fear. So we have many emotions, and many don't know this, but the number one emotion you always experience in everything is fear. It's not the only emotion, but the brain goes and looks for danger, tries to keep you safe, and then it basically helps you coexist in the outside world. So all these neural pathways, they call them, in the brain, when you're born up to age 25, they call it the circuitry. Most of what is wired into your brain is supposed to be there as the operating system. Just like a computer, that's going to help you basically live safely and healthy for the rest of your life. Here's the challenge. As we start aging, when the brain's young, it's fast. So
Okay.
the operating system is fast. So for example,
It's just like a fast computer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when you buy it new and everything.
that's right.
Yeah.
And that was really smart because computers, sometimes over time they slow down.
Yeah.
Come late.
Because there's so much stuff inside.
Exactly. So what happens is the brain starts becoming slower over a lifetime. And then the other thing that happens is if we don't use the pathways in the brain, the pathways are the neurons that are organized to help us think, feel, and do. If we don't use those things, we can actually unwire them. So in other words, say that I say I want to pick up this book. My brain is telling me what to do. I take my hand, I do this. In fact, the book is there. I don't even have to look at it. I can pick it up. That's all being done by the brain. So what the brain has is a brain stem. So when I say pick up this book, in a millisecond, the brain takes that thought, creates a thought, and then through the brain stem, through my nervous system, the spinal column, it basically controls my hand. It tells me exactly what to do. So Tom, pick up the book. What am I going to do next? I'm going to read the title. I'm going to turn it this way. That's all being signaled from my brain through to the different parts of my body.
Hand, yeah.
What happened with me is when I fell on my head, everything was damaged. So now the part of the brain's wiring that controls how I walk straight, all of that was messed up. The second part was I didn't know how to care for my brain. And so there's two other parts I'll talk about. One is feeding the brain, and the third one is what we call deep rest and sleep.
So when a person is dreaming,
Mm.
when you are fast asleep and you're sleeping, but you're dreaming.
Yes.
So that means your brain is not resting, is it? Is your brain resting?
So the brain's never resting. The unconscious brain, which is the part that becomes very active when we're sleeping. So if we back up a minute, what we're talking about is rapid eye movement sleep, which is the deepest level of sleep. Our brain waves are at what it's about an alpha state, which is when we're in that type of sleep, the body's paralyzed. Otherwise,
Okay.
you would be acting out your dream.
Yeah.
So, but you're absolutely right. The brain is so active, but here's why this is beautiful. Here's why dreaming is so important and why we have to get sleep. I actually wrote this down. It's a great quote. Imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is the limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. That was Albert Einstein. And so when we're in REM sleep, we not only deal with traumas and things, but we actually tap into that unconscious brain and so much information that we never tap into that has ideas about our future that will evolve. And I think that the planet can be a happier place if people learn to dream, learn the power of dreaming. And so for all those people that don't get good sleep, you're limiting your life, literally by years, and your brain is basically slowly decaying. So I'll wrap up with, take your brain to the gym, feed your brain, so healthy food and hydration, and the third one is deep rest and sleep. If you do all those things, I've done some remarkable things in the last 5 years. I just started a doctoral degree, which
Yeah,
I didn't think I could do because I have some visual challenges.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day, Tom, how do you do all that with all these injuries and things? And I say, I care for the brain. Change your brain, you'll change your life.
Yeah. What can I say? My goodness, with these 20 minutes or 26 minutes, how much we unpacked.
There's so much in there, and if I come back again and talk to you, we maybe go a deeper dive on one of them, which is the deep rest and sleep, because I think that's one of the ones.
I think
where-
that's what everybody is sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Or we fight to stay up or we want to watch TV. You don't discipline ourselves. When the babies are there,
That's right.
I have to put the baby to bed at 8 o'clock, and we do. Because you want to rest maybe, and baby need to sleep. So it's working for both of you. But as we become adults, self-care is not part of
No.
us. We take care of everybody
Exactly.
else, and you don't think about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about students, and in fact in universities and schools, the mental illness and depression and suicide are at an all-time high
Yes.
around the world. But here's the interesting thing about what Camilla, you said, that we train ourselves with these excuses, like and the babies are there. I had my daughter.
Yeah.
However, when I say deep rest and sleep, one of the things I'll talk about next time I see you is meditation. You can actually bring your brain down to a level of alpha state, almost the unconscious same state as when you're sleeping, by doing a 10 to 20 minute guided meditation. And so when I was at the brain clinic, they would put me in a room for 20 minutes with a headset, and I would just focus on breathing, and my brain would calm to that level. Guess what? During that period, my brain is rejuvenating itself. It's neuroplasticity. Short-term memory is moving to long-term. So even if you're a crazy busy student, executive, parent, you can change your lifestyle by creating these brain breaks, guided meditation. Did you know that the brain shouldn't work for more than 45 minutes at a time? Because it's not meant to go that fast, it burns out. Yet we're business leaders and we have a Zoom meeting that goes for 2 hours.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, so what I teach now is I teach people who lead people to put brain breaks in every 45 minutes. If you come to one of my workshops that I do for 4 hours, now I've changed them all where every 45 minutes there's a brain break.
Because the thing is, we never think of brain exercise.
No.
We never think. Well, we are told that you should eat blueberries, you should eat a lot of fish and omega-3 and all that. That a little bit we know here and there.
Yeah.
So to keep your brain healthy. And the third thing is the sleeping. So we never practice.
That's right. And it's funny because it had to be me almost killing myself in a bathtub
Yeah.
to start teaching this.
Yeah.
But that's part of my mission and neuroplasticity, the research and science has been there for decades.
Yeah.
But now as a certified master neuroplastician, I'm certified now, we're taking this message, and there's people all over the world starting to teach. I'll say, everything starts with the brain and mind. You change your brain, change your mind, change your behavior.
Yeah.
And you can do that in almost every area of your life.
So what's in this new book?
This one here, thanks for mentioning, this one here is my latest book. I published it. I also run a publishing company, Create Publishing. This is an anthology, so it's a book. The title is called The Quiet Warrior Teaches Genie Easy Brain Skills to Create Happiness. And so I took the top 10 brain skills I learned through my recovery, and we created a storybook about it. So these are 10 little things you can do on your own to strengthen your happiness in your life. But we also went out and found 10 people who had gone through life and experienced mental illness. And so it's fully illustrated. Oops.
Okay.
And so you can see some of the characters. So we wanted it to be an experience where it's got illustrations and it's got education. So it's a bit of a storybook with 12 stories, but then there's 10 amazing skills that you can actually take home and you can do them by yourself.
Oh.
One of those skills I just taught you, which is called the one wonderful breath, which is how
Yeah.
you calm down when you're overstressed. So you can find that online and offline, Amazon, or connect with me directly. I'll sign a copy for you.
Okay. Any last word? I know we went over time, but that's okay, because it's
I
very
did-
hard to get you back in
I-
the studio so much. You are so busy. But it's all.
I'm so blessed because you give me so much time, and,
Yes.
and that I realize I do have. We said take care of your brain, take it to the gym, feed it, and deep rest and sleep. That would be my key message. Like if it's a through line through my talk today.
Yeah.
But it did bring a quote I wanted to share, which I didn't, and now it could be a good time to learn it. You might know who this person, Gandhi. Gandhi was legendary, right? Everybody may have known the story.
Yeah.
He said this: live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. And I wrote down here my own words. This quote emphasizes the importance of living each day to the fullest,
Yeah.
while also valuing continuous learning and personal growth even in the face of mortality. It can be a thought-provoking perspective on the concept of death. So here you are, me, almost dying from an injury, but Gandhi said it to us. Live like you were dying, but educate yourself, continuously in a state of personal growth. That is my final message.
Yeah.
Do something every day to learn.
Yeah.
Been the pleasure coming in.
Thank you so much. I'm just still processing what has been said in there, what the Gandhi said, and as if live today as if it's the last day for you to live. And when it's come to learning, learn as if you're gonna have not one life, thousands of lifetime, because
Sure.
that's how much knowledge you think you want.
Every
to.
time, Camilla, you say something comes to my mind. So people wonder, how come people always go and they take courses and conferences? There's a system in the brain called the dopamine system,
Yeah.
which is the reward system. Learning new things releases this hit of dopamine. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
It makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
So the reason why lifelong learning, I do it, is not just knowledge, but it makes you feel good. And so there you go.
With that, thank you so much, Tom.
My pleasure. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you, Tom Datta. He's also a host and executive producer of the Quiet Warrior podcast and live stream, where people come to tell their stories of resilience through diversity. Talking about our events, Showman Entertainment and SS Productions have collaborated to have a stand-up comedy tour in all over Canada. The first show is landing in your Surrey area on November 16th at Bell Performing Arts Centre. The show would start exactly at 7 and ends exactly at 8:30. So even if it is on a weekday, no hassle. Just come, enjoy the show, and off you go. For tickets and further information, you can go to the Bell Performing Arts Centre website. The tickets are available online, but you can also call Harpreet at 604-446-8376. Touching Lives Foundation is doing its annual Christmas party, and this is their 5th annual party, fundraiser on December 9th at Empire Banquet Hall in Surrey at 6 p.m. This year's proceeds will benefit Sarah for Women's Transition House, so get your tickets and support their cause. For more information, call Jose Chauhan at 778-892-7388 or Neera Vohra at 604-603-4684. Canadian Empowered Women of Fiji Foundation is doing their toy drive on December 9th at Taj Park Convention Center starting at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are only $40 per person and children under 10 are free. This is their second Christmas dinner and dance, so make sure you grab your tickets. For further information, call 604-825-8261 or you can call 604-831-0240. Angel Music Production presents New Year's Eve party on December 31st at 6 p.m. at Bombay Banquet Hall, which is located at 7476 135 Street in Surrey. There will be live band concert, grand lavish buffet dinner, DJ, dance, and lots of prizes. Tickets are going pretty fast, so make sure you get yours. VIP is at $75, then $65, and VVIP treatment is available for only $85. Make sure you call Mike Singh at 604-818-9405 or 236-999-0666. Another number that can be reached is of Nilesh Prasad at 403-919-96970. Sikh Nation Blood Donation Campaign Against Genocide. The Canadian Sikhs are known for running the largest blood donation campaign for the last 25 years. It's time again. The slogan for 2023 World Blood Donor Day campaign is Give Blood, Give Plasma, Share Life, Share Often. This focuses on patients requiring lifelong transfusion support and underlines the role of every single person who gives and plays by giving the valuable gift of blood plasma. Victor Gira Toy Drive is back again on December 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Riverside Banquet Hall in Richmond. Please donate to this worthy cause. Last year, they donated over 5,000 toys to the Children's Hospital and other non-profit agencies. Please call Michelle Gira at 604-715-7039. If you have missed our shows, you can watch it again tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. and again on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. on Shaw Cable Network. All of our shows are also uploaded on our YouTube channel. Asian Pulse brings 3 different shows for their viewers every week. First is Fiji in Focus, which you can watch on Tuesdays at 10 p.m., Thursdays at 2:30 p.m., and Sundays at 4 p.m. Kamila Singh's show is broadcasted every Monday at 10 a.m. and again on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Bula Beats broadcasted on Thursdays at 10 p.m. and again on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. You can find all of our shows under our YouTube channel named Kamila Singh Shows. Our parting thought for today is, when people laugh at you, don't react. Don't feel down. Wake up the lion inside you. Work hard in silence. Let your success make that noise. The author is unknown, but it's a valuable thought. With that, I will say goodbye to you. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. I'm your host, Manvi Randhawa, and I'll see you next week.